104.1 KRBE, a Cumulus media station.
Good morning, everyone.
We ready?
Live from the TXU Energy Studio.
The Roula and Ryan Show with Eric, featuring Special K and Sam.
104.1 KRBE.
Time for group therapy on the Roula and Ryan Show with Eric.
Yes, group therapy comes in many ways. You can reach out to us, on Instagram, on Facebook, on the listener line, 713-278-VENT. You can direct message us. You can go through our website. You can text us during the show at 37530. Sometimes they're so important, we just veer off from whatever we're doing. We're going straight to that text and try and get you on the phone. Okay, so we got this listener line call. Let's hear it.
Hey there. So I'm calling in for some advice. I just delivered my third child. I am so super excited. Of course, we've got a new baby girl. Yay! So happy. But I've got an issue. So I have two older boys, and my dad, right? So her grandpa, he's uncomfortable with the fact that I gave birth to a girl. He really wanted another boy. And he started to make all these comments, even though, the last names will be those of my husband. And I'm starting to not even want him in our house anymore. I mean, what do you think I should do?
What the
Yeah,
hell?
who does that? Who says that? They're upset that you had the wrong gender?
It's pretty extreme, though, kicking them out forever.
Well, if she had three girls and the grandpa's like, oh, are we going to have a baby boy? I can understand people grunt because they're just jerky and not thinking about it. But you got two grandsons.
Well,
I mean,
it's true that sometimes older
that makes
people,
sense.
seniors like that, they just have zero filter.
But it's just, I don't get it. It's like you should be happy either way.
I would
As
be.
long as it's a healthy baby, you
Exactly.
should be happy.
And how
And
can
so-
you be mad at somebody? You have no control. You don't get to pick the gender.
71339. I'm sorry. Yeah. No, it's not.
833-390-KRB.
Okay,
Listener line number.
Let that sunburn get your brain?
I know it did. I'm crossing my wires with listener line and request line. Request line is 833-390-KRBE. I mean, that must take a while. 833.
Oh, yeah, it's been...
It's been a while. So, what do? Do you have to draw some line in the sand and tell your father-in-law, listen, you can't keep coming over here and talking about this?
Yeah.
You're rude. It's rude what you're saying. I mean, we have a healthy baby girl. We already have two beautiful boys. What is your beef?
Well, his beef is he wants all boys because he doesn't know how to act around girls, obviously.
Caveman
It's a
mentality.
newborn baby.
Moron.
Yeah.
My God.
You'll grow. You'll understand.
But I know that there have been so many family dramas that have been born of a birth of a baby.
It
I mean-
shouldn't be. That's the most ridiculous thing. If that person is causing you that much stress in this joyous time, and this is the most joyous time of your life,
And it's a very stressful
then
time in your life. You just
cut
had a
him
third
out.
kid to
You
the
don't-
brood.
You don't need that in your life.
It's hard to cut somebody out, though. Like,
Yeah, you can't.
gotta make
Easier
them-
said than
make
done to
them
cut
change.
them.
But you're not going to change somebody. You think you're going to change a guy who's 80? That's not going to happen.
Should. You'd be able to... Once you pick that baby up, you see it.
Well,
Oh.
here's
I'm
my
on
thing.
it, yeah.
They don't live, the grandpa does not live with them, so she could try to distance as much as possible from that.
I had friends that she was white, her husband was black, and their dad did not like black people.
Racist.
And then when he came around and they got married, when they had the baby, and then they loved that kid. I'm like, man, if that kid only knew what this man used to
Went
say
through.
about black people,
Yeah.
this kid would be never want to
Man.
be around his grandpa.
Well, maybe that was a teaching lesson for him. Maybe he finally realized people are people.
So it just takes
So why
time.
should it be you and I should get along so awfully? Bum, bum, bum.
If you know, you know. Sam's like, wait, what? And if you know, you should go get your
Losers.
colonoscopy.
You're not
When you were in high school, it's time for a colonoscopy. Get a heart health check. All right, you're just tuning in. We're talking about the group therapy listener line that was left. The woman just had her third child. It is a baby girl. She has two boys before that. And her father-in-law just can't get past the fact it wasn't another boy, and he won't shut up about it. Nydia's up first, 833-390-KRBE. Hi, Nydia. Good morning.
Good morning, y'all.
Good morning.
What's your comment?
If I was her, I would tell him, you know what? Since you don't have a problem with our granddaughter, don't come around. Bye.
Yeah.
See you next fall.
There's another
To
song.
me, if you have a problem with a baby girl, what is that about? Do you have problems with being around women in general or girls in general? Like, there's something behind that. Bye,
No,
Felicia.
nobody's-
Keep on moving.
Nobody's asking him to raise this baby
No.
girl.
Right.
And I think she should do it. I'd usually say let the husband do it because that's her family.
You'd
But
want to
screw
protect
that.
the
I think
family.
she needs to
stand
do
up.
it.
I think it's her dad.
Is it her dad?
It's her
Do you want
dad.
to play it again?
Yeah, play it again because I thought it was the father-in-law.
Yeah,
just
I don't know.
Hear it.
Hey there. So I'm calling in for some advice. I just delivered my third child. I am so super excited. Of course, we've got a new baby girl. Yay! So happy. But I've got an issue. So I have two older boys, and my dad, right? So her grandpa, he's uncomfortable with the fact that I gave birth to a girl. He really wanted another boy. And he started to make all these comments, even though, the last names will be those of my husband. And I'm starting to not even want him in our house anymore. I mean, what do you think I should do?
All right,
Give
even
it some
more so,
space.
it's your own dad.
So you can
Yeah.
really lay into him.
Shoot it to him straight.
Oh.
Right.
It's like, what are you doing? Why are you causing me so much stress? What is your problem? Can you stop with that? Or I can't have you come over, Dad. You're stressing me out. This is a beautiful baby girl. She's going to be amazing.
Right. And I was
Shut
your
up already.
beautiful baby girl. So what is any difference?
Yeah, did
of
you
me
dislike
having,
me?
Yeah, good
That
point.
makes no sense.
Maybe that's why he's like, yeah, I didn't do so well with you.
And he thinks that he'd
I
be
do better with
better
the
as
boys.
like a grandpa.
Or if her mom
dad.
is in the picture still, get your mom to also say, like, what are you doing, Bill? Stop complaining about that new baby girl,
Have any of
Bill.
you
Bill.
had to deal with a situation where you had to just put that family member on pause? Hey, look, this is causing me just too much grief right now. I'm just going to distance myself for a while.
I'm sure there are people listening who've had
Everyone
to do
has
that.
a crazy uncle or a crazy relative.
But not a
Or a
parent.
toxic in-law.
I mean, we're
or a
getting some
toxic
crazy
parent.
texts. My ex-husband was so upset that we had a little girl that he stopped talking to me, moved upstairs to the spare bedroom. He wouldn't have anything to do with her or me.
Oh,
And it
That's
led to
awful.
divorce 5 years later.
well, yeah. So that's
Good
a him
riddance.
problem.
She doesn't need to raise another
Exactly.
big baby.
There was another
Exactly.
one that someone
wrong with people?
said. Where was the other one about? I knew someone. Husband left her because she didn't have a boy. She had 3 girls, and on the 4th was another girl, and they left.
This sounds like
That's
medieval
insane.
times.
That
What
is
is wrong with people?
insane.
And now these people, you can pick the gender of your kid nowadays.
You can.
When you do
can?
treatments and
Like
stuff?
Treatments and
IVF.
stuff, yeah. It's like,
Oh, yeah, they can pick whether it's an X or Y chromosome.
yeah, I'm like, man, I'm not playing with
that's-
God.
that's
like, that
playing
thing,
God.
like, I don't feel
That's
like.
pricey.
Somebody's wondering if are all 3 children with the same husband, but it doesn't matter. It's her dad.
Right.
So it doesn't matter if it's the same husband or a different husband
I think
for
it's
the
just
kids.
about the gender of the baby.
It's just the gender of the child, which is so obnoxious. And, we can start piling on with people who like cut off family members because they were mad they didn't give the kid the right name, or why did you pick that side of the family or this family name, or if you're going to, here's my thing. The name game is really tense and tricky if you allow it to be.
oh, yeah.
You got to just put your foot down and say, here's what it's going to be. And just like smiling, even if you
Or
know
just
you're
don't-
delivering
yeah.
news to somebody
Don't
that's
tell anybody. I'm
annoying.
not telling anybody what our kid's final name is going to be.
Mauricio.
No, I do like that. But until we have the baby, I'm not doing it.
I say Mauricio because he's the hot boy on Saturday Night Live now.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah, the
new one.
main
It does
kid.
have the M that I
Yeah,
like.
yeah, I know. That's when I saw that that name came up. I was like, oh my gosh, I should
Mauricio
take Sam.
Dubon.
Mauricio.
And you've been calling him Baby Moo.
Baby Moo.
But what's
Yeah.
the Moo from again?
Moo was just because of the M. Like, we wanted to either do an M first name,
An M
and
name.
then I liked Emo Cows, and our last name had an O in it. So it just was, instead of Baby Mo, Baby Moo.
And that's going
Is
to be
where
his
it came.
nickname.
Okay.
What's up, Moo?
I know.
And she likes basic colors, black and white.
What's up,
Exactly.
Moo?
So it works out
Neutral.
perfect for you.
Emo Cows, too.
Like Alpha Sigma Mu.
Yeah, but-
right?
Oh
Mega
my
Mega
gosh.
Moos.
Stop
The
it.
Mega
Carly.
Moves is Revenge of the Nerds.
Lambda,
Kevin.
lambda, lambda,
And the Mega Moves. Carly's up next. We're taking calls at 833-390-KRB about the woman whose father is so upset that she had a baby girl for the 3rd time around. She already has 2 boys. He can't get over
It'd
it.
be different if he had no boys. It still would be stupid.
Carly, what's your comment?
So my ex-husband, his mom refused to accept my daughter because we were supposed to only have a boy. He had a son from a previous marriage, and they just, did everything for him, gave him everything, and now he's in prison.
Oh,
And my
my.
daughter is in college. Yeah, my daughter's in college. She's 26 years old, and but her grandparents refused to have anything to do with her.
That's so sad.
So-
I mean,
That is unbelievable.
That doesn't make sense.
For graduation, for a high school graduation, they sent her a $5 Whataburger gift card.
Are you kidding me?
I mean,
I'd rather get
No.
I mean,
oh my
that's-
God!
You can't even buy anything with
No.
$5.
Oh my God! I know there's no
Well,
value
no.
in those
Fries.
$5.
get a small shake.
Oh my God! The
Yes,
effort, that is such a
exactly.
smash in the
So-
face because the effort of that to buy the $5 gift card and put that in the mail is more offensive than
How does
actually
she-
giving her nothing.
How does she feel about it?
Exactly.
How's your daughter
My
feel?
daughter?
Yeah, is she hurt and
She-
mad?
No. She's like, they're, my mom loved her to death and gave her anything she ever asked for.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, she just said they're not people. There's no
There's no connection there.
connection.
Yeah,
they're
there's
not.
no family.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, and her dad, she doesn't even speak to her dad because her dad's on his sixth wife. So
Oh,
Six.
Oh,
I
my
understand
God. Did we
Once you-
learn that in Texas? I think
Yeah.
they'd stop you at 8. They
because
cap
the
you at
kids
8, I
don't
think.
want to deal with your drama.
Wow.
They just want to be done with it. It's like, I love you, but my God, you're stressful.
6 wives. Jeez.
Somebody
That's your 4.
said,
You'd be like, I think I
yeah,
gotta.
I'd be like,
If I failed at anything 4 times, I'd be like, I'm done. I wouldn't go 2 more.
I'm not going to get emotionally vested in your next wife if you're going to just do it again in another year.
this texter says, if someone is that upset about the gender of their child, then they should have just adopted the gender they wanted, period.
Oh, good point.
You can already pick a child
Well,
that's
this
already
is the
been
grandpa.
created.
He doesn't even have anything to do.
Right.
He doesn't have to
It's
raise this baby. It's
his
her
job.
dad. It's not
Yeah.
even the father. It's her own father who is being rude and won't stop talking about how, gosh, you should have been a boy. You already have 2 grandsons, dude. Well, all I know is
Weird.
that this woman that called our listener line is not the only one that had to deal with it because other people are texting how ridiculous.
Sorry you have to deal with that.
If you
Truly.
refuse to meet a newborn child because you're mad at the gender, that is a you problem and you need some serious help.
But it's going to be hard, though. Like, if she pushes him away, he'll probably be friendly with the boys. And so when they grow up, when they're all in their 20s,
Oh, you think
it's going to hurt her. I'd be like, it's all or nothing.
Yeah, you can't be with any of the kids.
absolutely.
You're not going to ever talk to my sons again.
Yeah, you can't
You're
hang out
not
with any of the
talking-
babies.
Can't play favorites.
If you're going to
Yeah.
accept one of them.
That'll screw her up.
Totally. Go to the listener line, guys, at 713-278-VENT if you want to chime in on this because we're going to switch gears. Now we're going to go to How'd You Catch Your Cheater? And a lot of people come to us at krbe.com or direct messages on social media because they have questions about their relationship and they need roses on Thursdays. But maybe you didn't need roses because you caught your cheater on your own. Unfortunately, that's how the end of the relationship came to be. But you found out because of their misstep.
What would you say is the number one clue? Is it technology?
Not
Or
clue. I wouldn't say clue. The number
sign.
one reason is the technology
number one
being
way.
mirrored.
I'd say,
And they don't realize it.
yeah, the iPad and the phone are mirrored together.
Or the
Instinct.
watch.
I'd say that's number 1, and walking in on them. Number 2.
Well, that's a pretty bad.
And number 3 would be your parrot.
A parrot?
Yeah, there's a story.
Because
there.
everyone has a parrot.
This lady said her parrot uncovered her cheating boyfriend and how. I'm like, I saw this story. Oh,
We'll
there's a
have to hear
story
about that as
If we
well.
don't, if we don't get any good calls, we can talk about the
Another
parrot.
number?
Yeah, and also we'll add to that story too the woman who found out from Google Earth that her man was cheating on her.
Once again,
Remember
that
story
falls
years
into
ago?
technology.
That's tech.
Yeah, technology.
But you can call us 833-390-KRBE. That's 833-390-5723.
How'd you catch your cheater next on the Roula and Ryan Show with Eric?
You busted them on your own, so pick up your phone. How'd you catch a cheater on the Roula and Ryan Show with Eric?
104.1 KRBE.
Okay, our phone number is 833-390-KRBE. This is definitely always a learning moment, a teaching moment here.
And maybe you're going to hear a story and you're like, that's happening in my life right now.
Or I'm going to do that.
I hope not.
We're going to open your eyes to how technology most often will get you caught if you're a cheater. Sydney is up first at 833-390-KRBE. Good morning, Sydney.
Good morning.
Hi.
Hey, Sydney.
So tell us the background story. Are you about to tell us a story where you caught your mate? Was it were you married to this person? Was it a long-term relationship? What's the background story before you tell us how the catching happened?
We were dating. I think we'd been dating for maybe like a year or a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And it was actually after I got divorced. So it was like one of my first serious relationships after a divorce. So I feel like that made it even worse in the moment.
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
kidding.
Took a chance on somebody and thought you found love.
Yeah. And it was not that.
So what happened?
He took my car to cheat on me. And he brought the girl to the lake to like watch the sunset together. And they had my car just running on the battery to like listen to music in the background.
Oh, no.
And the car battery died, and he had to call me to come jump the car because they were stranded at Lake Conroe.
And then when you showed up, there's another woman there at Lake Conroe.
In your car. He took your car. So how was he expecting you to get there if he took your car?
Right.
Well, I had a car and a truck.
Okay.
Okay.
And where was
so
his car?
I showed up with the truck. He did not have a vehicle at the time.
Oh, boy.
And so I show up with the truck. I did not know that there was a girl there.
Oh, was he trying to
and I get
hide
there
her?
and there's a girl, and he really tried to tell me that like there was a group of people and everybody left, but she just needed a ride home, so she stayed behind.
Right.
He had a whole story.
Wow.
But it was definitely very clear that it was just the two of them at the lake.
No.
So then what did you do? Did you say, no, I call bullcrap on that? What are you guys doing over here with my car? Or did you jump the car and then have the conversation when you got back to your place?
I didn't handle it the best that I could. I called him out on it. He just kept denying it, and then jumped the car. I let him give the girl a ride home, and then he did it again like a month later with the same girl. He
same girl.
took my car again, same girl, and they ran something over on the freeway, and the tire busted.
This guy.
Bad luck with this mistress.
A battery and now.
So wait, after the freeway incident,
really
then did you break it off with him and say, like, you're cheating on me and I know you're doing this?
I did. Yes, I did finally. When we got together, he was sober, and throughout our relationship, he developed a really bad drinking problem.
Okay.
And so I knew to sober him, and so I just kept trying, and I should not have. I gave him way too much of my time and attention.
Well,
He
you
ended up,
were in love with
getting
him,
caught
too, weren't you?
Drinking and driving. I was very much in love with him.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, and he got caught drinking and driving and ended up going to prison, which I think was probably the best thing for him. And he had to get sober, and I washed my hands of him.
That's good.
I think that was like
Understandable.
what we
I got the
needed.
cops to
How
care
about
that.
now? Did you find somebody? I mean, because at that point you'd be like, man, I'm 0 for 2.
Yeah,
Like,
I'd be like, I'm done.
I'm going to take a break for a while.
I can't trust any man. Did you go dry for a while?
No,
I'm not going to. I'm just going to dry out. Like he's got to dry out because he needs to get sober again. You're going to dry out from
losers.
from dating.
Men. Yeah.
It took a good while after that, but I am now remarried, and we've been together for 6 years now, and he is the most amazing man on the planet, and we are beyond happy together.
Oh,
I love
happy
that.
for you.
Now, whenever I hear like 6 years, I'm thinking, okay, 5 years ago was COVID, so you were dating for a year. COVID hits, and then you have to like live together faster. I was
Or
thinking
maybe
those
not.
things
Did
now.
y'all live together after a year of dating? If it was
Or be
6
closer.
years?
No, we met and we got married like 6 weeks later.
Really?
Whoa.
Wow, there was not
You got all
much
kinds of
rebound
stories,
time.
Sydney.
6 weeks.
After getting burned like that, after you were divorced from that cheater guy, you got married 6 weeks into with the next person?
I did, and
Wow.
I mean,
What was it?
definitely worked out. I wouldn't suggest it, but it worked out very well. I cannot even describe it. Like, it sounds so corny, but I just like met him, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna marry that man.
You're happy. That's all that matters.
Well, you
but
know what not to. You've had bad before,
Right.
so you know
Yeah.
True.
what was
Yeah.
it that made
And-
you think,
yeah,
I got to
and
do
he-
this fast?
I don't think that it was even that we were necessarily in a rush. I just think that we both felt the same way. He had been married before too, and it wasn't very good. And then we met, and I don't know, we were just completely obsessed with each other, just enamored. And
it worked.
one day he just was like, I really think we should just get married. Like, we've both done this before. We both know what we want. And so we did. His dad's a pastor. His dad married us, and
Oh,
the rest is history.
Wow,
Awesome.
6 years
I'm glad you're
later.
happy.
That is a whole other topic. Who's listening to the show right now got married the fastest?
As a parent, I'm like,
Sydney
that's
wins
fine.
this one.
There's fear there. That getting
Yeah.
married that fast.
Wow.
Like, you're not knocked up, are you? Okay.
Well, I'm glad that's worked out
That's
for
where
you,
your mind
honey.
goes to, though.
Because
You're
there's no
right.
reason to get married just because you get pregnant.
Yeah, it's
Does
a
not mean
shotgun wedding.
Well,
Or they are just true love.
It
yeah,
sounds
she
like they
just
made
knew
it.
she has to marry
You
that
just feel
man.
the smiling through the phone.
Yeah,
That was fun.
totally.
And
Thank
what's
you
wrong
so
with
much
that guy?
for sharing your story.
You guys ever heard of like AAA, a best friend, or
That's what someone said. Doesn't he
mechanic?
have friends? What a
You
dummy.
had to call the girlfriend you're cheating on to come rescue you with your mistress? That's insanity.
DoorDash, you could order one of those things that could charge your car.
The back car battery
Oh
and the
my
cables. All right. If you're just tuning in to the Roula and Ryan show with Eric, we're asking the question, how did you catch your cheater? Unfortunately, that is how your relationship ended, and you did not need roses because you found that on your own. So you're going to tell us how you found out, and we all learned something new. 833-390-KRBE. Dee Dee is up next. Hi, Dee Dee.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Good morning. So what's the backstory?
I'm the one that called a while back that set my husband up during the wedding.
Oh,
vows,
yes.
And
Wait.
was going, yes. But
Wait, reset it for everybody because she was that was a crazy story, y'all.
Roula, can you just recap it real quick?
I remember all the details, but just tell everybody real quick,
Yes,
Dee Dee, because I remember we were all
set him up.
gobsmacked.
I set him up at the wedding vows, and my cousin was standing right there, and we was going to get married. And instead of saying the vows, I just, I was, and walked away and stuff. So how I caught him was her daughter and my son is in the same classroom.
Okay.
And they got into it one day, and my son had got into it or something, slapped her or something, and she said, "That's why your dad is kissing my mom." But they didn't realize that when they got into the principal office, they didn't realize that they were cousins, and that when the mom walked in the door, and my supposed to be husband walked in the door, I was like, "Wait, why are you here?" And he's like, I was called for the principal, that somebody got into a fight, but did not realize that she goes, "Wait, you was at my house last night." The girl.
The little girl saw your husband and said, "You were at my house last night."
"Wait, you was at my house last night."
Oh, damn. That is so awkward.
And my son goes, "You was at my cousin's house last night? Why was you over there?"
Oh man, the kids from the Mouse of Babes.
Yes. So that's and then the girl was like, just shocked. She was, just looking stupid. And I go, so you was at there last night, so it's just getting caught. Either way, he just got busted.
Meanwhile, the principal is like, "What is happening?"
Principal's in the corner
this
eating some of that
room?
skinny pop.
I thought I was here to talk about two kids fighting, and I'm finding out there's an affair happening between these moms and the dad.
Administrators see this kind of stuff all the time.
Do they? All the time?
Not all the time, but I bet you it happens more than we
Dee Dee.
realize.
And Dee Dee was Epic Hall of Fame call because she had a wedding for spite.
A lot of times kids don't understand or they don't really know.
Yeah, that's
They're just saying what they saw.
Like, your dad's kissing my mom.
Yeah.
You were at my house last night. Oh my God, that's crazy, Dee Dee. Wow. All right, Jake is up next for How'd You Catch Your Cheater? 833-390-KRBE. Hi, Jake.
Yeah, this is Jake from State Farm.
Okay, got it. I almost said that too. Sure. Hi, Jake from State Farm.
Change your name, I don't mind.
Wearing khakis?
Yep.
Yeah.
Red shirt.
So hot.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
So
targeted.
basically, she was going to work earlier, staying later. When I brought it up, hey, I shouldn't be questioned about why I'm at work and all this other stuff. Her GPS location was coming up at different areas, sometimes miles away from her job. I did something I've never done, which was look through her phone, and I found Sweet Dreams text from one of her coworkers.
Oh, no.
And, and it's like, no dude should be texting a married woman sweet dreams and stuff like that.
No.
Yeah. When when I confronted her about it, she said, "Do you know how ridiculous that sounds?" She's like 20 years older than I am. So fast forward to when I questioned her about why she was 3 or so miles away from her job when she was telling me she was leaving her job. And I was on the phone with her, and her live location was showing exactly where she was.
Which
she
was?
said, "This is ridiculous." What's that?
Where was she at? What was the live location saying?
Yeah.
So she's a teacher, and her live location showed her at some random shopping strip. And she said, "I'm leaving the school right now." And she said, I heard her car turning on. And right when that was happening, I saw her leaving the parking lot. So, I mean, it was 100% that.
Yeah.
And then fast forward to now, we are actually still married. We're waiting for the final divorce papers.
Mm-hmm.
A month ago, she introduced my kids to her new boyfriend, who turned out to be the guy I questioned her.
20 years older guy.
Oh, man.
You know, you can prevent her from doing that. You can get a TRO, temporary restraining order. She shouldn't be doing that. You know, not until the divorce is settled.
Did you call her out on that and say, "Oh, yeah, I thought you said the guy"?
Oh yeah. Oh, I absolutely did, and she refused to tell me why she cheated on me and why with him.
How many years have y'all been married total, Jake, before the divorce is final? How many years have you been together with her?
Married. We actually just, I congratulated her. I gave her a happy anniversary because we were still married in front of her new boyfriend. And we've been married 17 years, together over 20.
Over 20 years.
I'm so sorry.
So what did this guy do when you saw him? Was he scared or did he just keep quiet?
No, he was actually pretty combative with me when I said, look, I basically told him, look, I have no respect for you for what you did and for you being around my kids, for a guy to break up his own marriage, because he was married too.
Oh, no.
So around the time that April of last year, that's when she started distancing herself from me, and that's around the time that he filed for divorce from his wife.
And did they work?
So,
and you said they worked together, right? Your wife right now.
They're both teachers.
They're coworkers.
Yeah, they're both teachers.
So they're working together right now.
They're both teachers.
Yeah.
Are they living together right now, or what's?
No, but I'm pretty. What's it called? Last week I was on vacation, and he spent the night every single night at my house.
Ryan's right. You got to have there's rules you can't have.
You're not allowed to
you
do
go to
that.
a hotel, you go on a vacation. That guy has to be in a different room, so at least have 2 rooms.
He said he stayed at his house.
Yeah, that's sick.
That's just standard fare. When I got divorced 14 years ago, and we used the same lawyer, and we made an agreement that there will be nobody brought around our child
until you're certain age.
I can't remember what the date was, but
it's a morality clause. There's one in there, but that was for temporary orders. Once we had a full agreement now, and we're just waiting on the final paperwork to be signed. We signed our mediated agreement back in end of January, and now we're waiting for the final paperwork to come in that the judge has signed it and everything. So, as soon as we had our mediated agreement, she introduced her new boyfriend to him, and that's how I knew who it was, which I already knew who he was.
Yeah.
I had a long time ago.
I'm sorry, man. The worst part is drop-offs, and you got to see her with that man.
Oh,
been there. It's the worst.
He's at every single game now of my kids, and along with her mom, who all of a sudden wants to show up to every game because he's there, and it's fun. It's been great.
Oh God!
This is so fresh. I feel like I'm in it with you. I'm so sorry.
And then you got to have birthday parties.
Eric, stop!
I remember taking my son to because he was 6, or go to a karate party, and then that guy's over there across, and you have to be over here, and they're more friends. Because it sucks. Yeah.
I'm telling you, I've had friends tell me, dude, you have nothing to worry about. I've had people tell me straight up, this guy looks like the Crypt Keeper.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell he was thinking.
That's the worst.
That's
even worse
when they're really unattractive.
No. Yeah. I ain't like the best looking guy, but damn it, I have an awesome personality, and nobody can beat me in confidence. So I'm good with that.
Yeah, you're a loyal, good guy.
Man.
Sorry, bud.
Just, I guess, try and be the best you can be for your kids, man, even though it's...
I don't know if I will never date a teacher, and I will never date somebody named with her name.
There you go. And never say never, because your next wife's going to be a teacher named that.
Are your kids under a certain age? Are they under 14 or under 10?
They're all under. My oldest is 16. Yeah, there's 3 of them. My oldest is 16.
So you still got a ways to go.
Sorry,
dealing
to be
with them.
continued. Well, Jake, give us an update if you feel like you need to. But I'm sorry you're going through that. Just stay strong, man. I'm sorry.
All right. Love you guys.
That's heartbreaking, though. When the kids come into the equation.
It is funny how if somebody screws you over like that, you don't want to date anybody that's in that profession.
Right.
Like 99% of teachers are probably great people.
Yeah. Well, maybe after
that
enough.
1% that.
What about that great restaurant that you loved so much and the breakup happened there? You're like, great, now I can never eat here again.
Yeah.
Because the breakup happened, and you're like, I really like these tortillas.
Or like Gingerman.
You never have them again.
I got dumped at Gingerman
Oh, in
Rice Village.
Rice Village. That
It's
place is
been gone
gone.
now.
Like, good.
Oh, man,
I don't need that memory anymore.
Oh, gosh. Speaking of bars, you know you've got money when you put a bar in your backyard, like a real pub. What celebrity just did this? We'll talk about that in Scoop. Oh, by the way, if you couldn't get through on the live show, please go to the listener line because we did get a lot of calls coming in for How'd You Catch a Cheater. The number for the listener line is 713-278-VENT. Please leave us your messages there because we can always play them back. And I'm sorry if you were holding for a long time. We couldn't get to you because we only had so much time because, man, these stories were crazy today.
Yep.
All right, Scoop's next on the Roula and Ryan Show with Eric.
From the big screen to the big house.
Celebrity Scoop, the Roula and Ryan Show with Eric on KRBE.
It's brought to you by Taquerias Arandas, and you might be seeing a lot of Coachella talk on your social media or possibly in pop culture news because Coachella is a music festival that happens in the desert in California every single year, and it's 2 weekends.
Yep.
And this past weekend, it was comparable to what you see on the Fire Festival on Netflix, where it was an epic fail because there are different ways to enjoy the Coachella Festival. One of those ways is to camp in your car. And the people who had planned to do that were stuck in traffic for 12 hours. 12 hours.
Uh-oh, Irvin.
Before they were, he said he's not going to camp. He's not a car
Let me
camper.
tell you something.
He's got
It
an
is
Airbnb.
insane. I was there this past weekend.
At
and
Coachella?
The traffic, no, not Coachella, but when I came into the airport, there were so many people going there, and the traffic was just insane.
Well, the Coachella grounds security, I guess, had flipped script on, I guess, the usual way they let people in with their camping cars. And all these people had to wait. And it was reminiscent of Hurricane Rita evacuation in Houston, Texas, when people were stuck on the freeway for 14 hours and peeing on the side of the road and running out of gas on the road because there's nowhere to go. There's nothing to eat. Yeah, they said they didn't have any access to bathrooms or water or any gasoline while they waited there for the 12 hours.
Oh, no.
And the cars were overheating because it was over 100 degrees outside. They said even when they were let into the campgrounds, there was still no direction on where to go. And they say the issue for the long lines comes from people being let into the campgrounds later and with the new security rules versus in past festivals, there was an earlier time. So that doesn't sound like it got off to a good start. But
No, why would you put yourself through that? That seems ridiculous.
Yeah, Irvin, why would you do that?
Irvin is not car camping. Irvin has an Airbnb.
I don't camp. I don't do that.
You're going to be glamping.
No.
But at the
Irvin's going
same
next
time,
weekend.
you still have to make your way over to the festival, and isn't that going to be like a lot of traffic? And they said people
Not
were
as much as you'd think.
waiting in
This is
line
your
to
fifth year,
get in.
Irvin. Irvin does all of our
This is my
social
fifth
media
year, yeah.
videos and everything, and you've 5 years in a row now.
Yeah.
And is Ed Sheeran going to be there this coming weekend when you're going? That was announced, right?
He's a Weekend 2 exclusive.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
How about Weird Al? Is he coming twice?
I wonder. So I'm
Is
going to be at the
Yo
Yo
Gabba
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 Gabba set. I will be there. I will be cheering.
Weird Al's
I
gonna
will
be there for real?
He showed up with Yo Gabba Gabba, whatever the thing, those weird creatures.
It was
Yeah.
crazy.
Okay, well,
People were all,
speaking
like,
of Ed
on
Sheeran.
drugs, I bet, watching that.
Probably. Speaking of Ed Sheeran, who has, of course, made quite a bit of money with his amazing hits and his talent, he used to go to a specific pub when he was a teenager because, in the UK, you have to be 18. You only have to be 18 to drink in pubs. And because of the fact that he can afford it and he has a giant, sprawling estate that can fit it, he purchased an old pub on eBay that he describes as a man catacombs rather than a man cave. It is modeled after the pub he used to go to as a teenager. And he said it has a counter, but there's a tunnel to it. And in the tunnel, he built a listening room. There's a cinema. It's more of like a man catacombs. He said he has a collection of his movie props in there. He says he's named it Lancaster Lock, which is a combination of his mom's maiden name and his wife's mom's maiden name. And he's built like a man labyrinth.
I guess if you've got that
Of a
kind of
pub.
a money in a situation, you've got that much cash.
And this is
Why
this is
not?
on his own property
in his backyard, yeah.
Oh,
So he
okay.
purchased
This is
the
not
pub.
like for everyone.
No. This is for him and his friends to enjoy and his family.
Nice.
That's kind of fun. Sidebar, I want to just throw a little 30-second personal out there. Yesterday, I was the keynote speaker for an event of moms and daughters at Lakeside Country Club. That's on the west side off of Willcrest. It's a really beautiful property.
It's great.
And it was very nice to be invited there to talk to all these moms and their daughters. And after I was done speaking, some of the staff of Lakeside Country Club came up to say hi because they listen to the show. They love the show. And this one man, y'all, I mean, when he was telling me the story, I was totally fine. When I repeated the story, I was like in tears because you just never know the kind of legacy you're going to leave behind. None of us know, right? I mean, we hope that we leave a nice legacy behind. We hope we're doing a good thing in our life. And how many times have we said here on the Roula and Ryan Show with Eric, we have no idea what the ripple effect of this show is, but we know there is one. We've met people years later who said, hey, you guys helped me on this terrible moment of my life, and you brought me out of the darkness. Okay, so I told you guys, for many years since my father passed away, my dad, Jim Christie, who, ran the family restaurant, that was his hope and dream and joy of his life, American dream. So I was a kid being raised in this restaurant, and we went through a lot of employees. I mean, how many employees has Christie's had in the 108 years? A lot. And how many they had in the last 35 years? A lot. The man who is the banquet manager of this country club worked at Christie's when I was 11 years old. He said that my father gave him his first job as a dishwasher, and he did not speak any English. And he was so happy to have a dishwasher's job that my dad wanted to promote him to busboy. And he told my dad, I don't speak enough English to be a busboy. I don't speak enough English. No, I'm just fine back here with the dishes. And my dad said to him, no, you're going to learn how to speak English. I'm going to help you learn how to speak English. You're going to be a busboy. And he promoted him to be a busboy. And he had such a great time in that part of his life. And he said, your father pushed me to learn English. And he taps himself like this on the chest. He goes, this is what your father made.
Oh.
Like, because he's the manager now of this giant, gorgeous, sprawling country club. He's the banquet manager.
Treat that was to learn that.
I mean, I was beside myself. I was like, oh my God. He goes, yes, I remember you were like 11 years old in the kitchen. And like Natividad has worked for our family since Natividad was 15. Natividad's like over 65 now. He worked with Natividad. And I was like, oh my God, Natividad's still there. He's still there. And he was like naming all of these employees that I remember as a child. And I just thought that was like the sweetest story because he sought me out to let me know that my dad changed his life. Like, my dad pushed him to learn how to speak English and told him no. Because my dad was an immigrant too.
Right.
And here he was out of his fear. Like, everybody has a fear, especially when you come here to a new country and you don't know.
Scary.
You think you're not going to try in advance because, well, I don't speak English.
That's pretty
But I
cool.
don't
Went
know
from a dishwasher, busboy to...
and then he just moved on in his life in hospitality. And he's worked for all these very high-end hotels. And now he's the... Eduardo, thank you so much for sharing that story with me. And tell Hazel and everybody that works at Lakeside, thank you so much for listening to the Roula and Ryan Show with Eric. We love you guys, and we really appreciate you guys listening every single day. That was made my day yesterday. Just made my day.
It's time for What's Going Down in H-Town on the Roula and Ryan Show with Eric.
104.1 KRBE.
Okay, so this was in the Chronicle. I saw this morning. Can you fish in Buffalo Bayou? Right outside the city. And the answer is yes, you can. But experts warn that might not be the brightest thing to do. They say it's not necessarily safe to consume the fish.
Oh, dear.
Due to all the chemicals and pollutants in that water.
Are you saying, oh, dear, because you fish there, Kev?
No,
ate some
because
last night.
I see people fishing in there.
All the time.
Yeah.
Maybe they're
Listen
doing
to this,
catch and
Kevin.
release.
The Texas Parks and Wildlife Department issued a consumption advisory 10 years ago, back in 2015, due to all the chemicals in the water there. Because of these chemicals, the department advises people do not eat like blue crabs or any species of fish from the bayou.
No.
Fish store toxins in their soft tissue and organs, such as the liver and brain. Now, all these chemicals are in them, and you're eating it. You're eating those chemicals. So
Gross.
might not be a good idea to be eating fish that you
Just
caught
go right
in
over the
Buffalo Bayou.
causeway like everybody else. You see them as soon as you hit on 61st. All those people are fishing right there.
Yes.
In that first little spot.
Can you
And that
buy them
little-
off those people?
Or just go to Katie's over there.
Yeah, Katie Seafood, they fish every day. You go buy some from
Let
them.
them do the work for you. You go in there
Exactly.
and
You
get
go to the fish market and get it.
My
All
buddy
those fish
fishes
markets are over there on the pier.
My brother-in-law fishes every weekend, and he's got that boat, the gas. I'm like, yeah, you caught this fish, but it costs $700. This piece of fish.
Yeah.
I go there and get a fish for $30. That's true.
$700 in like 8 hours
I've
of
been doing
work.
therapy, and it feels
the
good.
relaxation. You do things that help you get away
That's
from
all
your
I see. I
troubles.
just see it. You
So-
gotta buy a
So
boat,
funny.
and then you got to fill the boat with gas.
Oh,
and
yeah. That's a
stuff.
very
Clean the
expensive
boat,
fish.
dry dock the boat,
Just to
take
catch a
care,
little
maintain
fish.
the boat.
I'll go to get an aquarium and just watch fish.
Well, that's because it's not your therapy to
Yeah.
fish, but it's very therapeutic to
A lot of
fish for a
people,
lot
that's just so
I
relaxing
just want to be the
for them.
mermaid.
Yeah.
That's the person that just lays on the boat.
Fishing
on the front.
sounds awful
That's
to me.
Okay, so there's another story I was checking out this morning. Dara John Carter. This is a man who hated the speed trap near his home. He's near the Heights. So he posted on Facebook before eventually escalating to a standing near it. Okay, so he was warning passing motorists, hey, look, right up here is a speed trap. Watch out for it.
He's warning people that
He's warning
up ahead.
Wait, he stood there with a sign?
No, he's doing
He put
this
on
on social
Facebook.
media.
Okay.
So his actions frustrated a Houston police officer enough that he was cited for jaywalking. So when the cops saw him and recognized him from Facebook, they noted that he was the resident who was posting all this information about the speed trap on Facebook. So rather than pay the fine, Carter has opted to contest the ticket in court, where a trial is tentatively set for April 29th.
Okay, I live in the Heights now. Can you tell me where the speed trap is?
I know, yeah.
Do I need to go dig this up?
That Facebook story.
Yeah.
Just look up. His name is spelled Daragh, John Carter. So look him up on Facebook.
The old days, we used to just
find
like,
out where
flash
the
our
speed
lights
trap.
and warn people.
Oh, yeah.
You can get a ticket for doing that.
But now with the little running daylight,
Yeah,
lights
it's
are
harder
the
to
lights
do
are always
that.
on.
it's harder to do
You
it.
just use high beams.
For some reason, my truck
Flash,
won't do
flash.
that.
By the way, if you know Jared Whalen, he made national news over the weekend at the Astros game on Saturday.
Yeah.
We won the series against the Angels, but that game we lost because we won on Friday and Sunday. And he's the one that you've probably seen all weekend prying the foul ball out of Mike Trout's glove.
And I'm saying, dude, come up with a better lie. Like, I was protecting my kid. No, you're going for it, which is fine. You didn't.
You're in the moment.
It's your right.
You want to grab it.
It was in.
It was hitting foul
is it not-
territory, and Mike Trout was going to try and catch it for an out, but Jared took
Just
it.
say, you went for it. You didn't see him there, and that happened. Don't just say, I was protecting my kid, because you weren't protecting your kid. If you did, you did a terrible job of it.
How did he not see
He
it?
was way over here, and
If
he's
he
like
reached
this.
into his glove and
His
pulled
face
it
is
out.
hilarious. This should be a meme now. That guy's face going.
Like, oh, I'm sorry.
Whoa.
Well, Mike Trout met with Jared and his son after the game, signed the foul ball that Jared ended up keeping. They did not eject him from Dyken Park, but they did move him from his seats.
I would make sure you can never sit there again, dude.
No.
I wouldn't want to. It's too much pressure. I'm scared. I've sat in like one of those sections one time where they give you all the rules. I'm like,
At least
okay,
they're foul
I got
balls.
to really keep on top of this.
The home run section. That's
Ultimately,
scary.
he did not affect the outcome of the game.
No, because we
didn't
lost
matter.
4-1.
He
But
goes-
we won against the Angels the whole series.
won the series 2-1.
That was nice. All right, coming up next, we just did a segment called How'd You Catch Your Cheater? And a man named Jake from State Farm called in to tell us that his teacher, soon-to-be ex-wife, was cheating on him with another teacher.
Looks
and
like the
they're
crypt keeper.
keeper.
He was an older guy.
And so that brings up the question, is there somebody that you just refuse to date based on their occupation, maybe their name? Because the person that burned you last had that job or had that name or maybe even was from that part of town. I don't know. What is it? What are your parameters for why you won't date somebody because of an ex burning you?
It could be anything, even your appearance. Like, ooh, that person looks too much like my ex.
833-390-KRBE. Who won't you go on a date with?
Let's focus on professions, because someone will call in and go, well, he looks like my husband Frank. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that doesn't help
Doesn't
us.
really help us on
So-
radio.
No.
Let's focus on
So you could say
the
you won't date
job.
architects,
and
you won't date
things.
teachers,
Okay.
you won't date nurses, you won't date whomever. Okay, so fill in the blank next on the Roula and Ryan Show with Eric.